Business English vocabulary. Examples 12. Mastering Business English by Tracey, Simon.
If you're starting a new role or trying to move up, these are about expanding capabilities. First one, expand your horizons.
Okay, expand your horizons. This one's all about broadening your knowledge, your experiences, perspectives, exploring new things.
Stepping outside the comfort zone.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Stepping out. Like maybe a junior analyst takes an online course in, say, data visualization. That's expanding horizons.
Okay, learning new skills.
Or a manager encourages their team to go to conferences in totally different fields to spark ideas. It's proactive.
Got it. Going beyond what you already know. And often that kind of leads to the next one, right? Those new experiences are the best teachers.
Yeah, that brings us neatly to experience is the best teacher.
Uh-huh.
It's a proverb, really. Emphasizes that, firsthand involvement, practical stuff.
Yeah.
That's how you really learn. Learning by doing.
Makes sense. Like real world stuff beats the textbook sometimes.
Totally. Think of a startup founder maybe learning more from a really tough product launch
Oh, yeah?
than from reading tons of business books, or a sales rep who gets better at negotiating by actually closing tricky deals, not just practice runs.
Right. The real deal. And when you've done enough of that, you eventually become
An expert in the field. That's the idea.
Okay.
An expert in the field is, someone with deep knowledge, skill, and experience in a specific area. High level of specialization.
So people recognize their expertise.
Right. You might hear a CEO refer to their lead engineer as, an expert in the field of AI ethics.
Yeah.
Maybe to reassure people.
Yeah.
Or a consulting firm advertising their experts in the field for, supply chain optimization to get clients. It signals mastery.
Okay. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, I think, because the next few help us understand not just business stuff, but maybe human nature, interactions, even justice or focus.
Yeah, these dig a bit deeper.
Let's talk about eye for an eye. That one sounds kind of intense for business, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. It suggests retaliation,
Yeah.
right? Or justice that matches the offense.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't literally apply it in an office, hopefully,
Yeah.
but it signals a tough, direct response, metaphorically.
Okay, so how would that look?
Well, maybe a competitor warns they'll respond an eye for an eye if someone launches an aggressive price war.
Ah, okay. Tit for tat.
Exactly. Or a legal team might prepare for, an eye for an eye countersuit if talks break down. It's about reciprocal action, strategically.
Gotcha. Less literal, more strategic mirroring. Okay, shifting gears. Focus. Eye on the prize.
Eye on the prize. This is all about maintaining that unwavering commitment to a goal, keeping your attention fixed.
Laser focus?
Pretty much.
But
Your efforts, your determination, all pointed towards that outcome. So a project manager might tell their team, keep your eye on the prize. When things get messy, scope creep happens.
right, ignore the noise.
Yeah. Or think of a sales team, end of the quarter, pushing hard. Their eye on the prize is hitting those targets. Pure focus.
And speaking of eyes, something eye-catching.
Ah, yes. Eye-catching. This just describes something that, bam, immediately grabs your attention. Visually striking.
Important in business, for sure.
Definitely. Making an impression. Like a marketing team designing an eye-catching ad campaign needs to stand out.
Or in a presentation.
Exactly. A presenter using eye-catching graphics in their deck to keep investors, engaged. It's about grabbing that immediate notice.
Okay, let's shift again. Let's talk accountability. Confronting tough stuff. Like when you've maybe messed up or something bad happens, you got to face the music.
Yeah, face the music.
Yeah.
It means confronting, accepting the consequences, especially for your own actions or decisions. Taking responsibility.
No avoiding it.
Right. So maybe a CEO has to face the music after a big product launch fails. Explain it to shareholders.
Oof, tough one.
Or a team leader has to face the music with a client because they missed a huge deadline. It's about owning that outcome.
And sometimes, maybe before things go wrong, we take things at face value.
Right. Face value. That's the apparent meaning at the surface level. Not looking for hidden stuff.
Just accepting it as it looks.
Yeah, pretty much. Without questioning too deeply. Initially, anyway. For instance, a manager might take an employee's resignation letter at face value.
Assuming the reason given is the whole story.
Exactly. Or investors might initially take a company's financial projections at face value, before they do their deep dive, their due diligence. It's that first glance interpretation.
Okay. That kind of brings us to fairness. Honesty. Crucial stuff, like fair and square.
Fair and square. Yeah, this means acting or competing justly, honestly, straightforward. Following the rules, basically. Integrity.
Playing clean.
That's it. A business owner might proudly say they won a contract, fair and square.
Meaning their bid was just the best. No funny business.
Right, not because of connections or anything. Or maybe two companies agree to settle a dispute, fair and square, using arbitration, and they both respect the outcome.
Okay. And related to that, getting a fair shake.
Fair shake, yeah, very similar vibe. It means giving someone a fair opportunity, fair treatment, no bias.
An equal chance.
Exactly. A startup looking for funding hopes to get a fair shake from VCs, right? Regardless of maybe their size or background.
Or in hiring.
Perfect example. HR ensuring all applicants get a fair shake in the interviews, based purely on merit, equitable treatment.
And finally, sometimes all that worry, that alarm, it turns out to be nothing, a false alarm.
False alarm. That's when a warning goes off, but whoops, it was a mistake. Unnecessary panic.
Happens all the time, I bet.
Oh, yeah. In business, maybe website traffic suddenly drops. Panic. But then it turns out to be a false alarm. Just a server glitch, not like customer disappearing.
Okay, a temporary issue.
Or a rumor starts about layoffs causing worry, but then it proves to be a false alarm when management clarifies things. Mistaken urgency.
Right.